an overpowered hero, but it wouldn't have been enough because they lost those other lanes so badly. So we're going to see what happens in game number 3. We're going to hop into it. The draft has begun. Here we go. Vici Gaming versus Evil Geniuses. Winner knocked out. Winner advances. Loser knocked out of the Summit 3. What a tournament that would be. Let's knock out the winner. Little do the teams know, but let's get into the draft. What a surprise that would be.
Yes! No!
They come down to celebrate. Surprise! We told you the Summit's a different tournament to your everyday LAN event.
Congratulations, Rave. You won the Summit 3.
Oh, the prize distribution's actually upside down, you know. Oh. So, Gyrocopter makes its way through this time around here in game number 3. No ban onto the Bounty Hunter, and EG have to probably keep in mind that if they don't take it here, Vici Gaming will be second picking it. Or at least that's the assumption you would make based on Vici Gaming's drafts throughout this tournament.
Gyrocopter in the hands of Hao is generally a bad idea, I would say, for the opposite team. He's one of the more scary heroes with it, and I don't know, the supports also seem to pressure his lane really, really well, so he can just get away with whatever he wants.
I think this is the ideal draft start for Vici Gaming. They have the luxury of banning the Chen and keeping the bounty in the pool in case they want it, but now they don't even need to use it as a block pick. I think they're going to be very happy with this opener. EG will be getting the Bristle again, but they don't have a Wisp or a Chen to go with it, and that seems like that's what has really made Bristle scary this tournament.
Well, they get the Universe's Clockwork now. That means Bristleback, right from the get-go, you're expecting to be in the safe lane, or possibly the mid lane, as some teams have done, but not really a Sumail-esque hero. But Sumail has been experimenting and playing a lot more as far as hero pool goes this tournament.
Yeah, and yeah, this Clock, in game 1 when they had Clockwork, they had Jaro on their side, and Clock got a lot out of the offlane. This is going to be so much harder for Universe this time. Gyrocopter, an awful matchup for Clockwork, not only in terms of the lane, but also even in the early part of the mid game. You hookshot a Gyrocopter, he actually just kills you. It can be nice for setting up a team fight if it can open up. You're willing to sacrifice your Clockwork to get the Jaro in an awful position and drain all his spells and maybe almost kill him. And if you get a Blade Mail, you could probably get away with it, but it's still, I have this kind of feeling that EG, I don't know, I don't think this is going to be good enough, these first 2 picks. I feel like they should have gone for something else, because I don't know.
To be fair, there aren't that many offlaners that are good versus Gyrocopter.
No, so, it's not about the lane, like, they can't do that, but I feel like they're picking into Vici's hand right now. More or less, but it's more about the first bans than anything. I mean, it's easy for me to say, but what would you pick instead? Like, it's just really difficult right now.
I mean, even without the Chen and the Wisp, they still have Abaddon, which Evil Geniuses also really like, and maybe even the Omni Knight, like we see PPD.
Oh, Omni could be really good, actually. So that's true.
It might seem bad, but I think Evil Geniuses certainly has a plan with this opener. I mean, if they leave Gyro in the pool, it's almost certain that Vici's going to take it first. So that's. I mean, they clearly had a plan going in, and it's not like, oh, let's just pick Bristleback. I think they're going to go for one of the weirder supports. I wasn't sure if they were going to go for Rubik. Rubik, one of the best heroes versus Clockwork, but at the same time, Clockwork just pulls his lane back with Cogs, and they won't be able to get the lift into the Rocket Barrage combo, which so easily kills most offlaners. Also, he's a little weak versus Bristleback, but then again, it's a pretty tried and true. Yeah.
I like that they didn't just go right back to the Bounty Hunter, because you see, after seeing the Clockwork Bristleback, because these are 2 very tanky heroes that aren't as bothered by Bounty Hunter kind of roaming around and poking and harassing them constantly.
Ben, do you feel like there's more merit when you play Rubik this version than in past versions of just getting 1 point in telekinesis and leveling up the aura with the way teams play right now? I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, okay, Pipe now has 10% magic resistance aura. You get a Rubik aura as well, and all of a sudden in the mid-game, if you have any sort of armor, it's actually super difficult to fight into a team like that.
I asked Kuro during our last cast, he said it always depends.
Okay. That's a very politically correct answer.
He said... But I mean, the past you would almost never get aura. That's the point. If it depends now, then that's probably I think generally better. He said if you're ahead, you go more telekinesis, and if you're behind, sometimes null field. But the scaling of telekinesis makes the decision pretty difficult.
Yeah. Gonna ban Storm. I wonder if EG are gonna ban Brood next. Who knows? Statistically, there's a 100% probability of a Brood ban. They're definitely going to do that. There's no way in hell they'll give that away.
Unless they really feel like they can just leave Bristleback in the safe lane against the Brood, but
It's really nice for Vici to know this as well, I feel. Like, they go into the second ban phase and they know what's going to happen. They can ban whatever they feel like, and they know the Darkseer and Brood will be banned against them more or less, so...
They may just want to, like, put Vici Gaming in a position where they're playing something they haven't run.
They didn't.
Yeah. I feel like PPD is very much he adapts and reacts to, like, a loss by saying, well, let's give them something that they're normally good with, but they haven't played it. Like, we haven't actually... Ice hasn't got to use Brood against EG yet this tournament, for example, but...
Yeah, they might try to play the Bristle against it. It's a decent matchup. Axe is also in the pool if they want to look for something like that. It's just... Yeah, this is not the way I was imagining EG adapting to this match in the third game. Letting the Brood through was not...
10 seconds remaining.
I don't... Well, this could be incredible, or it could be the horrible decision. Like, it's hard to say, but
I mean, they have,
it's
like,
confident.
They could have picked,
that.
like, Coddle if they wanted to. They already had the Bristle. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. There's also, like, the the Lina for Fear that sometimes they turn to when there's a Brood for more AoE, so I don't really think he's that scared of it. Undying seems to be... I mean, Ice is destroyed with a hero. I think 2 games just completely obliterated the other team, so I think it's maybe a little bit better for them.
Okay. I think something Vici Gaming might be looking for is the Super Invoker. The Quaswex, good against Bristleback, burning his mana, pretty decent against Clockwork. It's a hero that can buy a 4-star for the team as well if they want to. And something which can just give a lot of space and control for the Gyrocopter to play around.
That hero was nasty on day 4 for Vici. It was one of the best invokers that I've seen in a really long time. And it's rare that you see a Quaswex invoker just completely win the
10
game.
seconds remaining.
Well, for now, they get Lina. And a team that doesn't run this as a flashy mid, unlikely to be Super's hero. This is probably the support duo for Vici Gaming, I feel. Yeah. So, leaving Ice and Super's heroes for last. And this kind of makes it hard for EG to draft and know what's coming their way, because Super can pull out something like the Invoker. The Alchemist sometimes comes out. They could still go for a traditional Dragon Knight and just look to kind of 5-man push down towers. Vici Gaming's draft is very open right now.
I wonder what it's going to pick for Ice, though. I mean, yesterday we saw a first phase Timber pick, which I don't think would be that bad here, but they're clearly experimenting to some extent. Sometimes he plays... Undying Darkseer, Broodmother, as you say, but I think this will really dictate what the Rubik and Lina will be able to do, because they need some kill potential in the lane.
Do you think the Timber's better here, since there's no, like, Razor counterpick that could come into play?
I mean, it depends on the supports can zone him out. I think one of the big issues with the Timber side yesterday was that he just couldn't get any levels, and you need at least levels to be relevant on Timbersaw, Boots, Stout, and maybe a TP scroll, and that's pretty much it. And then you get kills through just having high-level spells, but if the support duo is strong enough to zone him out from level 1, and Rubik and Lina can't really do that much, then he's pretty much a useless hero. As opposed to like a Clockwork, if the support duo is strong enough to zone him out, he can just cog and pull back, or like a Nature's Prophet who can just jungle or block camps. Most of the other supports, most of the other offlaners offer a lot more utility in the way that they can catch back up.
I actually like the idea of a Nature's Prophet a lot here. Really good for blocking out, for example, when Lion wants to go for pull. The classic TI3 style of Bulldogs, we mainly saw it from Bulldog and Ohio at TI3, just sending in treants and blocking camps all the time, and being okay with sacrificing yourself to keep the supports low level. That would open up a hell of a lot of space for Rubik Lina to just roam as they desire, and ultimately later on, there's Nature's Prophet, a decent Shadow Blade into Silver Edge carrier against Bristleback. That could work, I think, if they wanted to go down that route.
You go very standard with their 4th pick. Pick up Sumail's Shadow Fiend, which pretty much sets their lanes. Shadow Fiend, your mid laner. Clockwork probably in the off lane, and Bristleback in safe lane. Could maybe run dual lanes if they want to do the line with the Bristleback and send someone up top like a Keeper of the Light with the Clockwork. Similarly, they could pick an Enigma, Jungler. EG are pretty open with their last pick, but their core heroes are pretty set. Do Vici Gaming consider an offensive trialing with like a Rubik Lina Gyro, or are they more likely to go standard, do you think, Ben?
I don't think so. Not against a Bristle. I think Bristle's pretty... I mean, Bristle's already put in the offlane sometimes because he can handle difficult matchups, and I think that's a matchup that's really difficult to win. On top of that, Gyrocopter can just get dove if it's Bristleback +1, whereas... And that means the support duo can't really roam around, and you really want the Rubik and Lina to put pressure in at least 2 lanes, if not 3.
Pretty standard super pick, and the Dragon Knight comes out. And
that's the Silver Edge carrier then.
Yeah.
I know it's early to call that, but I really think it's a big part of what of the consideration of getting Dragon Knight into Bristle. I think it's
Yeah.
it's obviously something you don't get until like 20-25 minutes into, or maybe not 25 minutes into the game. Maybe 20 minutes if you don't have the best rate. If you have a really good game, maybe you can even get it like minute 16. But it is around the time when you usually really want to shut down a core Bristleback. He's going to be doing, or not an off lane rather, just a mid or safe lane Bristle will get farm, and I think countering him directly with a pick that goes into an item that counters him is necessary in this version. Pretty much every single Bristleback we've seen not played in the offlane in this tournament is just owned.
Yeah.
I think without exception, actually.
Yeah. And you can get the Silver Edge after like your BKB Shadow Blade. You don't have to get it, like rush it before you even get your BKB. Yeah. By the time, if you're ahead, you may just want the BKB to push, take fights, and you don't need it to deal with the Bristleback. But if it goes late game, then yeah, it's a great transitional item. So, Razor banned out. Not really expected here for Ice 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 in the offlane, but something they could have put into play.
They banned the Coddle. You talked about the Coddle clock lane.
So
if EG go greedy and get an Enigma, they're going to go Dazzle, so not even worth considering.
they already have the Rubik to shore up against the Enigma, so it's not that big of a deal for them, on top of everyone being able to interrupt it on their side.
This is where you like pull out an Axe last pick.
Weave is really good here. Axe could be a choice for Vici Gaming, actually. I don't know, I think it's going to be a difficult game to play Axe in the offlane here. He's going to get bullied out a lot.
Yeah, this support duo is strong enough to zone out any solo one.
But the last pick, Dazzle, I think is really, really good.
Remaining.
The weave against both Flak Cannon and Splash form, or Ultimate form from Dragon Knight level 2 and 3 is really nice. There we go. Okay.
Last pick.
Oh, they asked for it.
It felt like EG were like somewhat or waiting for this pick to come their way. They left it in the pool. They've been always banning it every game before. They said, look, let's just plan on dealing with the Brood. If they pick something else, well, if we've got a draft that can deal with the Brood, you can deal with any other offlane most of the time.
They definitely need these supports to get some farm, though, on Lion and Dazzle. Like, ideally, you want a Medallion, you can sneak Roach with your triple minus armor, and Lion wants a Blink at some point. If Broodmother can keep these two supports in check, then it's gonna pay off, but Bristleback's gonna get farm regardless. I mean, you have to be extremely skilled Broodmother to outplay a Bristle and kill him multiple times.
Yeah. That's the good thing, is that a lot of the times when we see Brutes just winning a game, they're 1-on-3 and they force 1 or 2 supports to stay. EG are free to do what they want. They can actually even just keep the Bristle in lane from the 1. And if they want to try for something like a sneaky level 1 gank where they smoke up the Dazzle in line, for example, and maybe kill mid and get Sumail a good start, I think that could be a cool move.
That's just cruel. I was already smelling the food behind us and they had to go and show us a camera shot of the food that was there while we were casting. Like, man.
Production is mean today.
They are.
I've been on the receiving end like 3 times.
I'm looking at the builds. There's only one set of sentries coming out from AoE, no Dust, and no Reveal coming out from PPD. So that's pretty important for them. Ice Ice Ice, no sentries of his own, but he does have a Stout.
Got the good old Mango. I like the Mango in the Brood.
Oh, they're taking a little bit of a different route.
We'll see what they look to play here. Put down the web nice and early here. Ice Ice Ice. Gonna maybe look for a first blood here as he shows himself. Well, I guess EG haven't actually scattered this out just yet. Both teams playing very defensive with their level 1 movement.
I think I like EG's draft a little bit more. I think they have multiple ways to deal with the Brood. I don't think he should be able to dominate. And Vici's is a little bit more higher risk with the Lina and the Rubik support duo as opposed to the Dazzle and Lion who play very well from behind.
I think Vici are going to maybe contest this bottom rune. 3 heroes making their way towards it and a fight's brewing. FY and
They quickly noped out of that one.
Yeah. They're like, okay.
That's 2 runes for Vici.
Ice Ice says drop the web and then went top. So it's going to be Brood versus Clockwork.
The old web mind games.
Yep. How do EG respond to this, guys?
Well, Ben, you said you didn't think Vici should go for this tri lane because it's going to be difficult and they might lose it.
Well,
I don't think so, actually.
It's different because they have the Brood now. Because the Brood should just dominate the Clockwork, I would say. And that... winning that matchup is worth the risk of going in this offensive try. So, I mean, I don't think EG have the damage in this lane. Well, if they get a good Shadow Wave.
Yeah, it's all about the Shadow Wave, because Gyrocopter Rocket Barrage will be ownage. I like the decision from How to go flak level 1 as well, just harass as much as possible early on. And this is already a bad start for the trialing for EG. Dazzle as well as Bristleback just taking poke damage, and Vici Gaming just really harassing them out. Good news is they have pull camps available.
Did their sentry catch that observer? Doesn't look like it.
Just out of range.
And the other piece of good news is Shadow Fiend has a good matchup mid. He should be winning against Dragon Knight in the long run. He already got 3 CS now early, which is really good start for Sumail. I do believe he had Necromaster level 1. So
I wonder if they're going to deward that other
maybe he had
observer.
level 2 actually, but
He just
he had
placed,
level 1.
He just placed another observer ward to the south side. Oh, it did get caught. Okay.
The sentry's still in play.
Yeah.
And they can always look to body block it later on.
Still not the best for Vici. They get one of their obs dewarded. They use 2 sentries. They only block, and they aren't actually able to deward.
EG's pinging out where that sentry is, so it's like AUI are going to go in for that deward. And yeah, he's got it. So they've got their pull camp available. This bottom lane looking at least feasible for EG.
The problem is Vici can still challenge it. It's not your classic safe lane tri lane that can just pull, and the aggressive tri lane can't really do so much about it. I still think in just a flat out fight between the 3 heroes, Vici Gaming are gonna roll them.
It's a big deal that camp is
but
unblocked,
it definitely
though.
helps.
Yeah.
By the way, Clock and Brood. Clock is crushing the CS right now.
It's a little
Brood
surprising.
is off to a poor start farming-wise. 2 points in web. Doesn't have the mana for a spawn spiderlings.
I think Universe has like a good 10 damage advantage or something.
Yes.
In this, yeah. Actually,
it will get
exactly 10.
tougher for Clockwork over time.
Yep. Once he gets level 2, Broodling should be okay.
And he can just, even if he doesn't pressure the clock, he can outfarm him by just farming jungle. But I think he will be looking to kill the clock and take away.
Well, here they come with illusions. Could be a big deal if they get the shadow waves on it.
Oh, Lena's just gonna throw out a nuke even just for illusions. I guess wanting to make sure they were illusions as well. Yeah, Brood Soul Ring, about to hit level 4. This is where this lane gets a lot better for Ice.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he's getting owned really badly in CS, but yeah, he should be able to pick it up. Actually, it's not even that bad. It's only 5 difference.
Yep.
Owned. Completely outplayed.
He's getting doubled up on. 7 CS to 14.
Shadow Fiend is 7 ahead, and then bottom lane Gyro is 8 ahead. So I think, so far in terms of farm, a marginal win for EG, but
Yeah.
oh, close. Nice damage by Sumail here, 2 raises.
That's value. It's going to force... I mean, Super will keep bottle crowing here. We shoot through everything and force the career back, but Sumail's bottle crowing himself. He's got kind of a HP advantage for now, at least.
Who gets the mech this game, Bristle or Shadow Fiend?
I think Bristle.
So does Sumail go for his Yule's build?
I think so. I mean, it depends on how well Bristle's farming. He seems to be farming okay. But, you know, if they get a couple kills on him, he can just get out of control with the early mech. But if he has to play from behind, then SF can pick up that. SF's not a great matchup for DK, especially post level 5 for Shadow Fiend.
So it looks like top lane stabilized for Brood, back on par with Clockwork for CS, and Super going to claim a 4-minute rune, so he doesn't have to bottle crow, and actually may choose to do so anyways. Gets a bounty rune, and we'll send that one back.
Surprised Sumail didn't go for the top rune.
That was... Who picked that one up?
Okay, never mind, someone else. Wait, where'd it go?
Got denied by... Someone? Question mark? Spiderling, I'm guessing?
Spiderling.
Yeah, it must have been a Spiderling deny.
I was wondering when that happened. It would have, I mean, SS one of the best rune carriers in the early game.
And that was that, like a potential haste or invis rune, which could be used to set up a kill first blood. Now,
A little bit difficult for them to initiate. They don't have any eyes on them. I mean, they know that they're at the pool, but they need to get the lift vision.
Yep.
So I think EG handling this early game very well.
Yeah, this is as good as EG could hope for, and yeah, it's solid for them. Neither team really... I feel like both teams' drafts are going decently, with Vici Gaming's aggro trialing just not being quite as effective as they'd hoped for.
I mean, they just have to make sure not to die. I think if they lose out on farm, that's perfectly okay, but dying in this is just a disaster, because their fallback plans are just not very strong. Relying on a Brood to carry you in the late game is, or even the mid game is, you know, not the best, and Dragon Knight...
Smoked up towards mid, it looks like. Level 6 on Dragon Knight, and they're going for
Can they do this?
Got the ranged Dragon Tail stun.
There's a quarter left in the smoke. He's trying to push it out here. They might get one opportunity right now.
Yeah, he's going to loop all the way around.
No,
And
it's too late.
Oh, Clockwork may scout this too. No, just out of range.
The war's right about to
It's
expire.
Oh, they spot him out as the smoke expires. If he had like 3 more seconds on that smoke.
Great positioning by Sumail, though.
Yeah.
He knows that that top part is covered. And on top of that, Lena's in the lane, so he doesn't have to be that scared.
So, Invis rune comes up, claimed by Clockwork, who's about to hit level 6. This is a pretty nice rune to have, especially if you can hit 6 and TP bottom. I guess if you TP bottom, you give Brood a free lane to push and take a T1 tower, though, is the main problem there.
But they could, in turn, just TP the Bristle top after then.
Yeah, get a kill,
they do it
it's a
quickly.
TP him, yeah.
Oh, Rubik just sitting on behind. Clockwork is level 6. Looks like he wants to get some mana, set up for a kill with his invisibility rune. Already a TP scroll at the ready.
Tranquils.
Had to go for max Rocket Flare because of the Brood.
Well, it's going to be pretty obvious that he's up to something funny. They also had eyes on the top rune, so I don't know if Vici's going to try and counterplay it with sentries or just wait it out.
Where he looks ahead next, but it looks like he TP'd in middle lane. Clockwork lining up for an initiation here. There's the Rubik, though, ready to lift Universe out, but can the raise? I mean, misses the raise and hits the stun. Super will be just fine.
Oh, that's a big loss, actually. They're going to lose a tower for this.
And the gyro...
They got nothing out of it.
They forced the gyro TP. That was the one small win, and you talked about the TP's top. It's going to come from Lion first. Looks like the tower may be kept alive for now, but takes a decent amount of damage.
They have 3 people coming in, Universe.
Oh, nice hook shot.
Did not get the block with the Spiderlings and trapped underneath the tier 1. Fear TP's in, and this is a dead Brood. First blood Lion. AUI 2000 on the run from some Spiderlings, but he'll be okay. They even clean up the Spiderlings.
And they'll get the tower.
That was a very nice hook. He shot straight through the tower, which was an unexpected angle from the Brood. He had the bottom and the east covered.
He should have sort of known, because they knew the Clockwork was mid-rotating up there, but...
It was a very small window.
Yes.
He had like maybe 3/4 of a second to hit that.
It was a clutch play from Universe, and Ice definitely could have blocked it if he maybe spread the Spiderlings, but it's tough to ask for that every time.
In the end, the tower will go down, so not the worst thing in the world for Vici Gaming.
Yeah.
EG get 1 kill, which is the first blood, in exchange for a tower deny and a tower loss. That's not really a good trade.
They got a lot of
They still
Spiderlings.
kind of had to do it. That's the problem. They had to make that defense.
I mean, they're helping out Sumail a lot. He is the breadwinner of this game, sitting on 4.3k net worth, building towards the Yule Scepter. Ice actually going to make his way towards bottom lane, probably just more comfortable playing that kind of off-lane Brood, and would rather set up camp in the enemy jungle rather than his own jungle.
It's much more efficient overall.
You have the enemy jungle, you can just pressure the bottom lane, and then your team can kind of rotate to pushing mid and top, and that's what Hao's going to do. ETP's top.
Nice ward placement overall from EG, though. They haven't gotten a single one of their obs dewarded yet.
PD getting harassed down by Spiderlings here.
Does Clock have a dust on him? Okay, then
Currently.
I think he needs one just to always threaten the Broodmother and make him feel a lot more scared.
Clockwork knows what's going on with those Spiderlings, and but now both teams will settle down. Just the 1 kill so far, and
This mid tower is extremely crucial for EG to hold. They cannot allow like a smoke gank onto this SF into a tower, because that will just lose all their T1s. And even though they're up in kills and maybe up in farm a little bit, especially on Sumail, it's just, that's the most important thing.
Are Vici Gaming worried and concerned that this Rubik Lina has got very little done this game?
I would be
levels are
personally, but I mean, they prevented the kill on
4 and
Super,
5.
so I think that was already really important. And they've somewhat limited EG's supports. They can't really farm out because of the Broodmother, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not like they went for a lot of smoke ganks and failed. They only went for 1 with 1 support, and they also counter ganked very well. So if they were playing hyper aggressively and no kills, then yes. But they haven't been, which is, I think, a good play.
Well, where does EG go, is my question. Their jungle is lost. They can't really get in there with their supports without getting them killed.
Stack Ancients for Bristle.
Yeah.
That's the easiest one to control the left 2 camps for SF.
It's more or less the only thing they can do. I still feel like that's a losing strategy, though, when Vici just farmed their entire own jungle.
Yeah, but they have I would say decent late game, and they have
maybe you're right.
better farm on their heroes, and they can farm faster.
They either need to farm for the late game or find some good item timings, like around the time they get a mech on the Bristleback per se, although it looked like he was going for a Vanguard.
Universe is a really difficult angle with the creeps in the way, especially with him looping on downwards. And
big stack. Here comes Shadow Fiend. He's going to actually, he will steal it.
Oh, that's big. This is really, really good for EG.
And Universe will still get the kill. It's going to be a Shadow Fiend stealing the neutral stack, and Universe hooking Fenrir.
All right, that could not have been any better. That was the best possible play.
Well, they had the Observer Ward. I'm a little surprised Fenrir went back up to scout. They had Observer Ward in mid to see him pop up. He wasn't smoked. So SF walking into the jungle alone is just crazy, right? So he has to expect that there's at least one or two more there.
Well, SSS will get some chip damage on the mid-tier 1, but Vici Gaming do not find any punish on that aggressive EG play.
I'd like to see Ice do more of what he does on Nature's Prophet and send Broodlings out pretty much everywhere just to keep tabs on where the supports are. Actually, keep tabs on where Universe is, similar to what Lycan Wolves or Nature's Prophet Treants do in the end.
Vici Gaming will claim the tier 1 mid tower, possibly a deny coming in as EG. Yeah, they'll self-deny that. So 2 tower denies, 1 tower claim for Vici Gaming.
So this makes our Ancients a lot more difficult to protect, as well as the left 2 camps. And I mean, as of now, Vici's still getting great farm around the map, even though they did get their stack stolen, as well as lose out on 2 kills. But in the end, the map control still goes the way of Vici due to the Dragon Knight and the Brute.
You asked about splitting the Spiderlings, and Ice doing just that. They've dispersed around this Radiant side of the map. And this is where EG have to be very clever with their smoke usage.
Yeah. There's still like a really low % chance that they like tank a hook shot too, which is also big. So there's not really that much harm in sending 1 or 2 out and potentially feeding.
He doesn't even mind feed. Yeah, he's doing just that now. He knows there's a Essential Ward there, but he's just blocking potential hooks and just being a all-around pest.
And he can also block the neutral camps if he wants with the left 2. And then SF, yeah, he can farm anywhere that he wants, but there will just be no creeps to farm. So Vanguard up on Bristle. I'm actually surprised to see no mech up. I assume like Dazzler will go for Medallion, and then Lion will go for Blink.
Fia picks up a cloak actually after his Vanguard. Possible Glimmer Cape.
Glimmer Cape's really good here. Glimmer Cape plus Vanguard, he's pretty much invulnerable for 4 to 5 seconds. Oh, expecting a gank. Onto the clockwork, 2 supports sitting right behind him.
Now is in a bit of trouble here. The Impale will hit. There's a hookshot available, and how alive for now. The hookshot will find him at Universe. Gets a straightforward kill as Super in the mid lane. In a bit of trouble. Fia got the tower, and now he wants the kill on Dragon Knight. Ice, he's a bystander for this one, as Sumail will survive for now. FY with a stolen finger gets the return kill on SF, but now he's got no way to run away from Bristleback. Big bad old man Fia looking to chase him down. 1 more Quill Spray will be enough. Fia getting close. Can FY juke? Unlikely. Quill Spray brings him down. 3 for 1 trade. EG lose Sumail, but they also get a tower on top of that. Nice side. Gotta be careful. That's a Essential Ward nearby.
Nice plays from the Universe this game all around. First with the first blood on Brood with a very difficult hook shot, and then even battling through the double support counter gank play to get that kill on How.
Sumail is actually mega farmed. I mean, it's one thing he's this far ahead, but he has about 12 CS a minute right now. Or some of them will be Broodlings, but it's not many.
Well, this is worrisome for Vici Gaming. The Yule's Blink combo already online, and that's one good way of dealing with the Brood Ev. If you ever catch vision of him, you can get the Yules on him. Sumail can solo kill Ice at a certain point.
He's also going for the Orchid build, which I think it means that they're not doing well in the early game. They really need to gain some more mid-game control. If they were comfortable in their late game, he would just go for Midas and just play around EG's movements. But you can tell that they're feeling a lot of pressures. Like, this is not the early game that we expected. We need to do something about it. We need more mid-game items.
Like Vici Gaming want to make a move towards bottom lane. Maybe use Ice as bait here, but smoke rotation is maybe going to be obvious as How kind of walks past unsmoked, and there was a Raiden Observer which now expires near that bottom river. And EG just on the other side of the map.
Yeah, overall, I mean, EG's very comfortable. They can just get a huge bristle, and there's really not a good way to deal with them, especially if he gets Glimmer Cape or Hood, and just builds defensively. And then the Quill Spray is just going to be a massive problem. On top of that, you have a Requiem to deal with. So I think they're very comfortable with the pace of the game, and the pressure's all on Vici to make the plays
Here,
now.
stunned up, but here comes the hookshot. Universe finds Lina and Fenrir. He's done for. He's going to be sacrificed as Hal looks to TP out. Fenrir brought down by Clockwork, and Sumail is just on the other side of the map. He takes a T1 tower up top. He's getting all kinds of farm and just continuing to extend EG's lead here in Game 3.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, there's a couple items coming out. We see Lion with the blink. Does PPD have his medallion? Or what is he going for? No medallion yet. I mean, they're close to getting enough map control to do Roche, which is really scary considering they don't really have any of their T1 towers up, and that Vici's supposed to have more dominant map control. And I think Super not having an impact on his Dragon Knight is a really big deal. And it all goes back to the early game. Like, it's just not a good match at post 5. And they try for the smoke gank, but it's just way too obvious because they know that they're under heavy pressure to make things happen. And it is really risky picking the support duo if you can't limit SF's kills, you can't make anyone feel threatened in the lane. Clockwork is also able to play very aggressively on ice.
And Clockwork now with the Blade Mail. This is an item I don't feel like Vici Gaming can deal with. If he goes on Gyrocopter, he can try kill Gyro with the Blade Mail pre-BKB. Gyro as well as Dragon Knight both are not quite at their BKB levels just yet, and that's a big problem for Vici Gaming the next few minutes.
They need a big fight, I think, baiting in Universe or baiting in Sumail, but at the same time, if PPD is there, he can just Grave, and that can counterplay most of what Vici can throw at him.
Sumail. It's very, very close.
What'd he get? Okay.
Raise.
That is...
Mid
see what raise it is?
The
It's a
medium
mid-range.
raise.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Oh, here they go. Yule's up on a Hal.
He's going to blink in. It looks like AUI will blink in. Goes for the 2-year impel. Just gets one, but that's a big one that he gets. Gyrocopter brought down, and FY
Oh, nice.
TP his way out of there just barely.
Yeah, Vici Gaming can't really find anything. They're not finding any openings on the map. Speaking of that, they do find Universe. I don't think he can kill him, actually.
Not with a Blade
Fear's
Mail
even
on
going
that.
to farm some Spiderlings here.
He still does it for about 5 more seconds.
Oh, nice hookshot from Universe as well. Pulls him in and brought down by Fear. EG get an 8-1 kill lead, and more importantly, a sizable farm lead off of this. Are they going to be able to find these Ancients? So it looks like that may be part of the comeback for Vici Gaming
It's
here.
pinged out by EG. I think they want to fight
See
for
it.
this.
Oh, this would be fantastic. They know there's no Brood, and it looks like Bristleback is headed that way. Sumail's ready to go. May not have his BKB, but he's full HP, full mana.
Oh, they're going to be too late for the majority of
They
it.
may get a kill, though. Yule's Requiem combo? Not going to happen.
I mean, he has 1500 HP, but I mean, look at the aggression from EG. They're able to farm the enemy Ancients without vision on the high ground, and he's just not scared of anything. 1800 HP with a lot of damage block as well as cloak, and where's the play supposed to come from Vici? It's supposed to be like Rubik and Lina, maybe snowballing with a couple of smokings here and there and getting an early Blink Dagger, or just constantly pumping through smokes to kill Sumail, but Sumail's way too big at this point. And on top of that, I don't think they have the damage.
Vici Gaming possibly in some trouble. They were dominant until the playoffs, and right now looking like they may be facing elimination. Their tournament life is on the line here. Loser of this match will be getting 3rd place.
I mean, these deep boards are just so good. They're always out of range of the sentries. This one as well as the one next to the Ancients. And EG have just been phenomenal with the support play all game. And just laying the foundation for Sumail to do whatever he wants, as well as Universe being able to make aggressive plays. So, I mean, an Orchid up on Broodmother is not the biggest deal. Sumail has Yules, Fear doesn't care, the supports aren't playing aggressively, they aren't playing farmy. Maybe they expected Aoi to play a little bit more farmy this game. Who else is there? Clockwork has Blade Mail, and on top of that they have Grave for whoever gets focused. They have almost all single target spells.
Oh, this is maybe not the way to come back as well. It's going to be Ice in the mid lane, pulled in into the cogs, and Universe will follow up with a hook shot, and the battery assault brings him down. Nice kill. As bottom lane, PPD gets this, Sumail with a Yule. Requiem Super tanks it up with the BKB, takes no damage, but can't get the kill on PPD. Meanwhile, it's Fear on the backlines, bringing down Gyrocopter. Things falling apart for Vici Gaming. Super. His BKB wears off, but the good news is he gets a snuff on Bristleback before the chase can continue. EG lose no one.
I mean, honestly, it just seems like from the get-go, Vici just is at a loss for strategic control of the map. Like, the first 10 minutes of the game just went terribly wrong for them, and I mean, the try on try, I don't think they can win that. They shouldn't lose it, but I don't think they can dominate that. Maybe if they get lucky with all the blocks and dewarding EG's Observer, maybe they can win it. But mid lane is almost certainly a loss for Vici unless the supports can come into play. So they're pretty much reliant on winning bottom so they can win mid, and then Brood is Brood.
Oh, Super going to go in on Sumail, who gets lifted up in the air. He's taking a lot of damage, doesn't get a chance to get any spells off, but now Fear looking to get some revenge. Gyrocopter with the cooldown, maybe enough damage to deal with Fear, but not with the Bristleback. Super not holding up too well. Finger from line brings him down, and Vici Gaming gets slaughtered mid. They do get the Shadow Fiend kill, but boy, do they pay heavily.
Bristleback's just like in this tournament, I feel like we just see the same thing over and over again. You put him mid or safe lane, he is impossible to deal with. You put him off lane, he's complete garbage. It's interesting because if you go back, or well, if you put him off lane, if you do it with like a Wisp, it can work or something like that. But this very limited utility, or very limited heroes you could put with him, but it's just really working out.
Is it really that limited though? I mean, one time we saw EG run Wisp and Abaddon, and he was nigh invulnerable. And then most of the other games is just either a Chen.
Oh my, close.
The HP bar looked like it was at less than 20.
I meant when you run him off lane, there are very limited options of what you put with him. We've almost only seen him with Wisp.
You can run him with
and
Dazzle and Abaddon. It's just not that many teams pick him. Pick Dazzle. I mean,
that's true. You can run double defensive support with him off lane.
Yeah, it's
doable.
definitely okay, but I mean, Bristle is pretty difficult to deal with. Okay, well that's BKB out for Shadow Fiend as well as a quarterstaff, and
I think he had it last fight, but he was just chained down nicely by Vici Gaming.
I mean, still, they just don't have enough firepower to deal with Bristleback. I think he could almost like 4v1 their lineup.
Yep.
If not 5.
That's the one problem that they're running into when he buys a cloak and gets a lot of health like this, is that the Rocket Barrage is not scary enough anymore, and well, they don't have a single target damage core yet. Dragon Knight doesn't hit hard in a single target, neither does Gyro yet, so Vici need to buy time. It's actually possible that Brood needs to go a combat build here, where he actually becomes such a strong hard hitter in fights that he can go in.
He can't. They can't kill the Bristle, and like if he goes in on a Bristle, he just turns around. If he goes in on Sumail, he can just BKB or Yules, and on top of that, he has to deal with Weave. Like I don't really think there's a good build for Brood at all this game.
Straightforward Roshan will go EG's way as Sumail picks up Aegis, and G off of this look to make their next move towards some objectives.
It's going to take a miraculous team fight from Vici to turn this one around. Like, probably more than one. Probably like 3.
See if they can make it happen. They've got BKBs now on Hao as well as Super on Dragon Knight and Gyrocopter, but just doesn't feel like they have enough killing potential.
Shadowblade might turn things
Silver Edge is the item.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, I think the BKB was useful in one fight, but in a way, it's basically if you go Silver Edge second in this game after you're behind, you're giving the enemy team another 10 minutes to farm. The Silver Edge was the only way they could kill Fear around this time in the game with the start he had, and then he went BKB, which of course is understandable, but they're paying as a result. They can't really defend at this point in time against Fear so well.
At the same time, EG could have just 5-man with a mech, and Silver Edge would have been completely useless. Yeah. So they could have outplayed it, certainly.
Oh, another hookshot comes in. Universe catches out. Hao forces the BKB, but that's fine. Universe will take that one as a win. 10-second BKB. On the cooldown now, Rubik gonna get thrown into to the oblivion by a Requiem. Super couldn't get the stun off in time, and the SF BKB preventing it as well. And EG looking good.
There's no way they can win a 5-on-5 right now. Like, maybe if something goes terribly wrong in the high ground push, but I mean, I can't even see that happening with.
They need to outlast Weave.
But how can they?
I don't know.
Oh, what a play! Universe sick into the cog. Super is stuck. Doesn't have a BKB. Neither does Hal. Fear getting low, but there's a grave ready for him. And now EG can just back off, reset a little bit. But no, Sumail's not done. We'll miss one raise. That could have been a kill. The hook shot from Universe. Ice going to be forced back. Sumail still alive. It's low, but he has the Aegis. EG just outplaying Vici Gaming right now.
That was pretty sick.
That was such a good force staff.
I mean,
I feel like
Universe has just been on fire this game.
We very rarely see that these days. The aggressive force staff usage was something that was pretty popular around TI2 and TI3 and just doesn't get used that much like
Tries
that
it again.
FY stole hook shot, but an okay spell for Rook to have, although generally speaking, if you're hooking into the Rubik, you're likely hooking into your own death.
Dire's bottom tower is
Well,
under attack.
luckily, Vici's respawn timers are pretty low at this point.
One optimistic way of looking at it. Unluckily, there's still 2 minutes left on this Aegis.
Tower has fallen.
And there's so much sustain with the Shadow Wave heal constantly being spanned out.
What's
the
Fear
charges
got?
as well.
He just used a lot of gold. I think there's someone.
Skadi, I believe? Yeah.
Is it done?
Oh my goodness.
Almost has Skadi.
That's a problem for
Yeah.
Vici Gaming.
Yeah.
Good luck killing him then.
I would have liked the Invoker pick more than the Dragon Knight, though. Just
Yeah, I
because
agree.
he can control the mid matchup a little bit better.
Well,
And he also has a fallback.
Like looking at Vici Gaming's draft in isolation, the Dragon Knight makes a lot of sense together with the Brute, just pushing multiple towers and pressuring, constantly forcing the enemy team to split up. But the problem is EG's lineup is actually pretty good at skirmishing. The Clockwork has been setting up kills left, right, and center. Lion is a great roaming support to take part in it, and then that kind of skirmish play or that kind of split push play becomes a lot harder. Just proving once again, I feel like Clockwork just seems like one of the absolutely most dominating heroes of the tournament. Together with the core Bristle, it's like 120% win rate, those two heroes, if you do it that way. Like, you play Bristle safe lane, you play Clock off lane, you can't lose.
You win 1.2 games each game? That's pretty sick.
It's actually...
That's some sick maths.
Yeah. First, now if you lose, you advance. You had to play him at a very high level, though. I mean, this is not an easy Clockwork game by any means. First laning versus a Brood, and then hitting those hook shots. But I mean, again, most of it I think is a lackluster play from the two supports on Vici. But at the same time, they can't really do that much. In the end, it might have been better for them to just sack the Brood in the off lane. I don't think the value of. Actually, I don't know. It just seems like they were well prepared for the Brood, either way. Yeah.
Very tough hold coming Vici Gaming's way. Hookshot going to go forward. They're going on Super the finger before the BKB. Super going to get right-clicked down by the Butterfly, Shadow Fiend, and Fear in the backlines. Wreaking havoc. Costa Laguna Blade, but he's still healthy. Sumail going to change targets here. It's going to be a buyback coming out from Dragon Knight as EG say we got a couple kills, we force some buyback, let's heal up, and then let's go once more. How? No BKB's getting slowed down. Universe will force up forward. The Cogs there as well. EG looking like they may be about to knock out Vici Gaming from the Summit 3 as Vici Gaming push back to the well. Gyrocopter's going to buy back. Top racks completely open, and GG is called. Vici Gaming knocked out. Third place as EG will be meeting Team Secret in the grand finals. 21 kills to 2. A slaughter of a game 3.
What a sick play, sick performance from Universe. And overall, I think lackluster draft from Vici. I don't think that EG's draft was particularly good, but the way they played it and the way Vici reacted just made this game a complete stomp.
Finally, we got a close game.
It was a close series, let's say.
It's really unfortunate for Vici winning all the way out in days one. Or in day one.
Well, it goes to show. It's kind of like Secret.